I am a perfectionist, and that made renovating a house quite painful. How? It made every decision very intense and very heavy. And it also meant that most decisions feel like they have a right or wrong answer. And renovating a house, I became very preoccupied with finding the right answer, the right way to do something, the right tile, the right paint color. And obviously, with a project like renovating a house, it is such a kind of subjective experience that there isn't right or wrong. You have to choose things and you have to make decisions with what you know and the information you have. So there are a couple of books that really helped me kind of set the stage for entering this crazy process of renovating a house. And I want to share those with you because whether you're renovating or not, these are just great books. If you are into design, an artist at all, or into just homes and how they work, which if you're here, that's probably what you're into. Okay. In order of the order I think you should read them. The first one up, Wabi-Sabi. This is a great book. I think my sister introduced me to this. Wabi-Sabi is a Japanese concept philosophy that basically embraces imperfections. So it is a quick read and very beautifully written, and it just helps you wrap your mind around how the world is imperfect, and that is what makes the world beautiful. And this is really helpful as just like a life philosophy for a perfectionist to just embrace imperfections everywhere and kind of shift the mindset to see the beauty in imperfection. So Wabi-Sabi for artists, designers, poets, and philosophers. Highly recommend. The next book, and my aunt sent me this book, A Pattern Language. This is like a dictionary. It is dense. There's a lot in here. It was written in 1977, and it's amazing how, 50 years later, it is so relevant still and thoughtful. I love this book because it gave me permission to get really granular about decisions and about the home building process. This book, I love the way they describe it. This book provides a language for building and planning. It describes the detailed patterns for towns, neighborhoods, houses, gardens, and rooms. So from a town to a room, this book kind of talks about concepts and ways of planning and designing. And it sets up some interesting kind of boundaries and rules for design and planning. And I love a rule. I can really get down with some rules and boundaries. So highly recommend, super interesting and very granular. And like I said, it gave me permission during the renovation process to get really thoughtful about decisions, like the height of the windows, the finish of the tile, the color of the walls, the height of the ceiling and the doorways. And it gave me permission to consider these things and how they would impact the feeling of this home and how it would impact me. And it's very granular, but I know that it does pay off in the long run, that thoughtfulness poured into the home. So A Pattern Language, the next one in the order. Then the third book, or kind of genre of books, is Feng Shui. I really like the concept of Feng Shui, the Chinese art of living in harmony with your surroundings. It is, if you don't know much about it, and this is two books here. A friend got me this one, which I've really enjoyed. Feng Shui That Makes Sense. It's very simple to understand. Nothing woo-woo about it at this point. What I love about Feng Shui as a concept and in practice is it explains how a room can make you feel and how the design of a room can impact your body and how you feel in a space. And some people aren't really in tune with that feeling. And it's something you can get better at, especially you will if you read these books, because Rooms impact the way we feel, the way we sleep, the way we relax, and Feng Shui gives a lot of knowledge to back up, and concepts, theories to back up the feelings. All right, honorable mention, and this is there are a couple of editions, or not editions, but books in this series, The Not So Big House, and they're all very good. This my aunt sent to me as well when I was in the design phase of working on the cabbage. And honorable mention because it's kind of dated. Like the interiors are very, I don't know, are they 90s? I think they're very 90s. I mean, it's great. It's great. But the concepts that hold up, the kind of practices hold up. And in these books are really creative ways of thinking about small spaces and storage and how to fit your big life into a not so big house. And I think that's a really important thing to keep in mind, is that you can buy a small house and still fit your life in it, right? Maybe that means downsizing your life a little bit, but it's all about creativity and kind of thinking outside the box when it comes to storage and efficiencies and lifestyle inside a house. So also really, really recommend these. So I don't even know if it's an honorable mention. Maybe this is 4 books that I love in home design. So those are my recommendations. It's kind of counterintuitive to do a bunch of reading and research before you design, but I also learned through the home renovation process that anytime I did not do any prep work, I paid for it in the long run. There's a lot of value, and maybe I am saying the obvious, but I'm still kind of learning this lesson. There's a lot of value in doing the research, creating the master plans, thinking really in-depthly about your home, your space, your project before you jump in. And I am the kind of person who just like immediately picks up the tool and goes. And it's not the best way. There's always, give yourself a beat to think about something, do some research, get some inspiration, do some groundwork design before you jump on in. That's my 2 cents. Those are my favorite books that are still on my bookshelf and that I still love reading. Hope you enjoy and come back for more.